Hi Isabel, this is Jim Gillis with the National Student Parent Mock Election and Win My Vote, and would love to talk with you about your organization becoming a sponsor or a partner of the event. So a quick background, the National Student Parent Mock Election has been around since 1980. It was mainly a television event with NBC and CNN and Time Warner. It had congressional funding through the 80s and 90s, but then they lost that funding in the late 90s. So for the last decade or so, it's really been a smaller event, sort of a paper ballot event, where schools could order their ballots and then fill them out by hand and then send them back in, and then the foundation would do the counting and some of the reporting on the states and that type of thing. But it was a very small organization. This last year in 2016, I worked with them and joined the board to bring it online. So we had a great pilot with 1,100 kids in June, and then about 130,000 in November, doing online with their phones and tablets and Chromebooks with a full interactive ballot, which I'll show you right now what that looks like. Here is the ballot right here, so the kids could get their own ballot and then they could scroll down and they could see all the candidates in all the races. They could also see propositions, and they could see measures. And then as they were doing their research, they would click on a candidate profile and they could watch candidate videos, they could see endorsements, they could drill down and read the bio. And then they could favorite the candidate there, they could vote for the candidate there, or they could go here and make comments and watch debates, etc. And then they could vote straight from here. They could also change their mind. We usually left it open for sometimes even a day or two, and that would be it. And then they could also see sort of the ongoing tally here, and then they could make final votes right before the end. And it was a great process because there was a lot of discussion and debate and that type of stuff. And then they could move on to other races and that type of thing. So we're very excited about 2018. We want to get it to as many schools as possible, and I'll give you a little sneak peek of what that will look like. So the landing page will be like this. It'll be very simple. Teachers will be able to click on here, sign up for free. All they need to do is put their zip code in, the name of the school, the teacher's name, and then the number of classroom. And then from there, we'll generate a code for the students to be able to log on without any personal information from them at all, just the code that will connect them to that teacher, that classroom, that school district, that state, etc. And then they'll be able to interact and place their vote. The sample ballots will look very similar to the way they did in 2016. We're kind of upgrading them a little bit, but the function will be the same. They'll be able to click on a candidate, see the candidate videos, look at the candidate on the issues. They'll be able to share on social media. They won't have a donate button there, sorry about that. But they'll be able to reference information. They'll be able to see endorsements. And if they like this candidate, they'll be able to favorite the candidate, and then when they go back to their ballot, it'll be nice and prominent here that is their vote. They can also change their vote again from here, and if they do that, it's real easy, so they can kind of go back and forth before the deadline. We're also going to have ballot questions. And the ballot questions, we haven't fully decided yet on the questions, but these are sort of the short list that we'll be using. And when they do that, they'll be able to click on this. It'll be the form of a proposition or the form of a question. So, and again, this is just an example. For example, should the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution be revised to limit, et cetera, et cetera, they'll be able to read, a short sort of summary of the question. And then here, and again, these will look better, the graphics will look better and that type of stuff. They'll have a group of the arguments in favor of an initiative or a proposition like this, as well as the arguments against. And they'll be able to also just click straight through, and see those. and then they'll be able to go down and look at the con arguments, and they'll be able to, read those as well. And then they'll be able to select, they're in support or in opposition, and that's it. And then, we will do the rest as far as the number crunching and stuff. So would love to talk with you about your organization, again, becoming a sponsor or a partner in some way. And that's open at this stage. We don't have anything locked down yet. We're looking for sponsors anywhere between $5,000 and $20,000 as far as the top level sponsor. And I can talk with you about the details, around that type of stuff. Thanks a lot. I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye.